Hey, big baby. Hey, we here again, man. You understand me? It's your favorite family member. You know how we do this, man. You know what I'm talking about. I am the voice of the people. This is the podcast. You wasn't there. You dig? We gonna keep giving y'all some knowledge, man. Some of this game, man. You know what I mean? We are here. Listen to me closely. We are here to create nostalgic moments, give y'all some history on the San Francisco Bay Area. You dig? But also, we are not here to glorify no violence, no type of illegal activity. I do this to show my young partners, man, you could turn your life around. You could do something positive. And that when you see me, you know what I mean, trying to write a book, trying to have a clothing line, trying to have a podcast, I come from something, man. I come from the same trials and tribulations, the same streets that y'all come from. You dig what I'm talking about, big baby? And it's possible to do something positive, man, to right some of your wrongs. Do you hear me, big baby? So we not glorifying none of this shit, man. Don't ever think that, you feel me? That's not what we here for. You dig what I'm talking about, big baby? Now, let's get to the business, man. Today's podcast, right? Check this out. Scratch. From scratch, for scratch, by scratch, big baby. Do you hear me? Today's podcast is brought to y'all by Scratch Barbecue Sauce. Now, check me out, man. This right here, this shit right here, some of the baddest shit on the planet, big baby. And I'm talking about not just the planet where it came from, because they call it the planet, man. This is derived out of San Diego, you understand me, California. Skyline, San Diego to be exact, but San Diego, California, man. The podcast today is sponsored by Scratch, man. Y'all go to Instagram, look up Scratch Barbecue Sauce, you feel me? Check out their Instagram, put your orders in. I put this shit on everything. Ribs, links, tacos, spaghetti. You know what I'm talking about? I might put it on your back. No, I'll take that back, man. I'm married. Damn me. But anyway, right? Scratch Barbecue Sauce, man. Go check them out, man. It's today's podcast is sponsored by them. This is some of the baddest shit on the planet, big baby. I wouldn't lie to you, man. You understand me? And anybody who didn't came to one of my barbecues and they loved it, how I did it, this is where I got it from, big baby. So just check me out, man. Today's podcast brought to you by Scratch Barbecue Sauce. I done told y'all, man, I'm here to promote products, man. Cross-market, man. You understand me? Tell me, you know what I mean? Shoot me some merchandise, shoot me what y'all got. Maybe throw a donation, man. We gonna keep this shit lit, big baby. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show y'all how we make a conglomerate. I don't even know if I said it right, but y'all gonna hear me, big baby. Scratch Barbecue Sauce. Today's podcast, you wasn't there, sponsored by Scratch, big baby. Scratch Barbecue Sauce, derived in San Diego, California. Look them up on Instagram, big baby. Do you hear me? But anyway, man, check this out, though, right? So today's podcast, man, we're going to talk about the Krush crew. You know what I'm talking about? Not only the Krush crew, but Ballington, Mike Bolte, and Paul Lozada, cool cat to be specific. Now, for those who don't know, the movie Training Day, right, with Denzel Washington, you feel me? The chief police consultant for the movie Training Day was from San Francisco. Specifically the San Francisco Police Department. His name was Paul Lozada. So if you look him up and look in the credits after you watch Training Day, and it'll say Chief Police Consultant, Paul Lozada. Now dig this. If Denzel Washington played a crooked cop, right, in the movie Training Day, one of the illest movies about crooked police that we have ever seen, you know what I mean, to date, he won an Oscar for it, right? Just imagine how the police officer that trained him and that consulted him, just imagine what type of monster he was, big baby. We're going to give you some insight into that, all right? Dig me. Let me get right. Y'all know I got to get right now. Woo! 2 times. Okay, man. Now, the Krush crew. The Krush crew was the citywide task force that had jurisdiction over the whole city, you understand me, when it came to drugs, murders, homicides, illegal activity. They was the ones, you feel me? If the Krush crew came after your ass, if the Krush crew was assigned to you for any shape, form, or fashion or reason, either the streets was lying on you, like my case, you feel me, because they was lying on me, big baby, or you was out there acting bad, man. You was a bad actor, big baby, you know what I mean? You was kicking up some dust around that city, man, if they sent the Krush crew to get you, dig? So, give y'all a little bit of history. I want to say the first time, now, if you was in the streets of San Francisco, man, and you was busting moves, you knew who the Krush crew was. It's one thing to get hemmed up, jacked by your local police officers, the task in your neighborhood, the white car, you know what I mean, the task in Lakeview, the task in Hunters Point. But if the Krush crew jacked you, you knew it wasn't no game, big baby. They wasn't coming for play, man. And they might bend the rules if they want to get you bad enough. You understand me? Dig what I'm talking about? So I want to say my first actual interaction, not just hearing about them with the Krush crew, was probably like 93, 94. And I was a young lad. I was only 13 or 14. But let me tell you, my cousin Jimbo, anybody from Bayview, Hunters Point, they know Jimbo, you understand me? He was a dreadhead back then, a bumble clock. You hear me? You understand me? But Bowley, Jimbo, was getting money as a teenager, you feel me? My cousin Bowley had Bayview fired up, big baby. And anybody who knows Jimbo, my cousin Ro, rest in peace, I love you, cousin. If you know Jimbo, he lived in Bayview, Hunters Point, but he also spent half his time in Richmond. So Bowley had a different little hustle about himself. He was getting money back when we was teenagers. So any car you could think of, 7 Deuce Cutlass, Highway Patrol 5.0s, Grand National T-Types, Novas, anything that you could think of, drop 5.0s, Bowley was having it way back when we was young, when we was teenagers. And Bowley, little region was Bayview. You feel me? You got Bayview, then you got Hunters Point. Bowley is a BVP All-Star, Bayview Posse, you understand me? Member, do you hear me, big baby? And Bowley had that Bayview fired up like crazy, you hear me? So one day I'm over at Lil Mama house. Anybody who knows, you know what I mean, Bowley and Uncle Lamont, Uncle Ronnie, you dig? Lil Mama house right there, you understand me? Clarice, man, you know what I'm talking about? Miss Lane, you understand me? Lil Mama house. Auntie Pat house, big baby. One day we up in there and Valentin and the Krush crew run up in the house, you dig? Now, like I said, Bowley was a teenager back then, you feel me? I was 13 or 14, so Bowley couldn't have been no older than 16, you dig? But he already was on their radar, you dig? Kicking up dust and acting a donkey, you know what I mean? They seen all them cars he was flipping outside in the front, you know what I'm talking about? So they run up in the spot, and I was young. I was a kid trying to, overstep my boundaries, talking too much. And just so happened that when they came up in there, they probably told my young ass to sit down somewhere, be still, don't move, whatever they said. I'm trying to act sick, trying to act tough. So I have some words with Valentin in them. I go back and forth with some banter with them a little bit. So I don't know if they found a gun or found some work in the house, but whatever it was, they took Bowley ass up out of there. Do you hear me, big baby? Yeah, they had to take Bowley up out of there. They found something. Now, whatever the words I had, my Auntie Pat, Ro's mama, rest in peace again, Ro. Auntie Pat repeated to my mother, yeah, Juwan, he is over here running his mouth when the police was in here, and the police had to say something to him. You dig what I'm talking about, big baby? So my mama didn't play that shit. As much as my mother was in the streets, she was a gangster. She tried her best to shield me from anything that was negative and anything that was out of line, out of pocket. She really didn't want me around her, you dig? She rarely wanted me hanging out with Bowley and them because this was when I was young and they was already smoking and it was allowed for them to smoke weed and it was known that they was selling work and different shit that she didn't want me to be influenced by. You hear what I'm talking about? So when Auntie Pat told my mama that I was running my mouth when the task force was up in the house raiding, my mom didn't take too kindly to that. She got on my ass real tough. You feel, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you don't shut your mouth, oh, you talking, you understand me? You don't know what the fuck is going on. You talking to these police and woo, 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 and yada, 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 and blase, blase, you dig? So she read me my rights and told me, you know what I mean, to stay in a child's place. Basically, you dig? And, like I said, I want to be ahead of the game. I want to be older than I was already, you feel me? So that would have been my first interaction with the Krush crew. Already hearing about them, but if you, like I said, if you was in the streets, attached to the streets, your folks was in the streets, you knew who Valentin and them was. You feel me? Valentin and Cool Cat especially. Now, Valentin was a big black dude, buff as hell, looked like he could break your neck, you understand me, if he grabbed you. And his partner at the time was Cool Cat, a.k.a. Paul Lazada. They used to be in the city in a little gray Camaro. Now, this is some real shit that only the real gonna really know and be able to comprehend. They used to have a little gray V6 Camaro that they used to be in. Valentin was big as hell in that thing, so when you dip up, you couldn't miss him. And Paul Lazada was over there on the passenger seat all the time. Paul used to wear some little Loke glasses or some little, I don't know if they was Lokes or whatever, but some little dark glasses. And you always used to have a beanie on and a trench coat. A long trench coat like how Denzel had in Training Day, that was Cool Cat's calling card. Had one of them long trench coats up on him. You hear what I'm talking about, big baby? So the second time I want to say I ran into them is this one. This time it was Mike Bolte and another white dude. I don't know the rest of their names, but me, Tommy Fat, and Don Goody, rest in peace. Both of them is resting in peace. We was coming up out of Double Rock getting some trees, you feel me? This before Double Rock had gates, big baby. I know a lot of y'all might not know nothing about that, but this is before they had gates. Where you should just dip up in that thing, man. Get you a handful of 5 sacks, do you hear me? And go on and slide up out of there and stop at the store outside the Rock, man, and get you some Garcia Vegas, but 4 swishers. Do you hear me, big baby? But anyway, yeah. So they see us now. Tommy Fat and Don Goody, they was already hot as hell, going back and forth to the ranch, going back and forth to juvenile hall. So, you know what I mean? Tommy Fat had already had shootouts and shit, and they was already hot as young teenagers. So when they pulled us over, automatically they see them two, and they, what? Get out the car, everybody out the car. Y'all got any guns in here? We like, nah, man, we ain't got nothing but some weed. We don't care about no weed. We don't even care about no crack. All we want is the guns. This is what the Krush crew, this is how they come at you. That little sack you got in your buns, they don't want that, big baby. They want the guns. Do you hear me? So, you know what I mean? They hem us up right outside of Double Rock. They pull us over, run through the car. They search it. We ain't got nothing. They let us go. So that would have been my second interaction with the Krush crew. Do you hear me, big baby? So over the time, you know what I mean, I would see them from here and there. They come through Lakeview on some running through some shit, come through him and everybody up, you feel me, letting their presence be felt, or somebody in the turf was hot and they was on them and they would come through and shake shit up. Now, the Krush crew, you might see them in Potrero Hill, you might see them in Sunnydale, you might see them in the TL, VGs, Lakeview. They ain't got no jurisdiction. And when you see them, you know they about that business, big baby. You feel me? So you don't play with them because ain't no telling what they willing to do to hem your ass up. You dig what I'm talking about? They was really with that action, you dig? And they was known for pulling some foul shit, you dig? I remember one time, Cool Cat was on my partner Cole, Killer Cole, you understand me, from the hill. And I don't know the exact dollar amount. Killer, you understand me? Like I said, a lot of these stories is from 20, 25 years ago. So some of the specifics, I would never act like I know everything specifically. But these references that I'm giving y'all, these stories can definitely be fact-checked, you dig? So Cool Cat had jacked Killer one time and took about, I want to say 3,500, 4,300, some number around there. And when they ran through Killer's spot, the money was missing. So Killer runs up on Paul Lazada on Cool Cat and is like, what's up with my money, Cool Cat? Where my money at? This nigga Cool Cat pulled out 240 Glocks. Now, how many police officers you know keep 2 weapons? This fool had 240s on him. He pulls out 240 caliber Glocks and draws down on Kobe and say, Jacoby, you want to beef with me? You want to beef with me, motherfucker? You want to beef with me, Jacoby? Kobe was like, Nah, man, I don't want no beef. Let that go. You going to keep that. You understand me? You know what I mean? Respect. You know what I mean? I see how you out here pulling it. You acting a real donkey, you dig? So just to show you how they got down. Now, Cool Cat has been known to shoot niggas. You dig? I'm talking about from back in the days. He had several incidents where he has shot young men from San Francisco, California. Whether it was warranted or not, I'm not sure. He might even have a couple bodies under his belt. If I'm not mistaken, he got a couple bodies, but he for sure shot several people. And one of those people that he shot was my little cousin, Demetrius Price, Mac Meach, a.k.a. Stack Mac. Rest in peace, cousin. I love you dearly, boy. Fast forward to my grinding days. So now I done had these interactions with them back in the days as a kid. So I'm already aware of who they are. I know what they look like and I know how they get down. Do you hear me, big baby? So one day, my little cousin is in the turf. They on Broad Street. So they doing surveillance on Broad Street. Not only is they trying to send decoys through, but they watching us. Now in Lakeview, as young teenagers, we was having the turf fire up. Now, anybody who knows, they can tell you them young Lakeview dudes was getting some money in Lakeview. As young teenagers, you'll pull through Broad Street and see several old schools out there, and most of them be attached to some youngsters out there. O.B., Capone, Lil L's, Bam Bigelow, Fatty Eddie, Matt the Cat, myself, you dig? a whole plethora of us, you know what I mean? We was all out there getting to a bag. We didn't even know how much money we was getting. We was so young. You dig what I'm talking about? So this particular day, it was a dice game. So my little cousin Mac Meach, he gets hit in the dice game. Now, I never wanted Meach to be in the streets. I never wanted him to be on the turf because I knew that he was a wild card. I knew that he didn't have no sense. I knew he was sick with it. And I knew that the streets wasn't for him, you feel me? And I loved him dearly, you dig? And I didn't want to be that bad influence that led him to any type of deadly demise or anything bad, you know what I mean? Meach came to California from Texas. He lived in California before, but Mac Meach came from Texas. He caught a gun case out there. So when he came out here, we was trying our best to shield him, protect him, and keep him out of trouble. Bam. So one day they on Broad Street, they shooting dice. Meach gets hit on the dice, you dig? So Meach gets hit on the dice. His thing is, I'm about to lay the dice game down, you feel me? He mad, he didn't got hit, you dig? He's upset. Well, in the midst of him leaving the dice game, going to the bushes, he grabs a pistol. So when he grabs the pistol, he don't know that the block is under surveillance. You dig what I'm talking about? So he's going to double back around and come back around the other way on Broad Street so he can lay the dice game down. What he didn't know is the police seen him get the pistol out of the bushes, you feel me? So as he's making his descent to come back around the Broad Street, the police get on him, you feel me? Because they know he had a pistol, and they jump out on him. So they're on Fairlines. So Meach takes off running by Scarborough's gas station. As Meach takes off running, the one part of the Krush crew is behind him. The other part of the Krush crew is in front of him. Meach reaches out to throw the pistol, to throw it in Scarborough's gas station. As he reaches out to throw the pistol, Paul Lozada, Cool Cat, shot him in the chest with a 40 cal Glock. You hear what I'm talking about? Shot my little cousin in the chest. Damn near killed him, you dig? So he shoots my little cousin. They throw him up. He throws the pistol, you feel me? They out there, they looking for the gun, trying to find it or whatever. They find the gun. They rush Meach to General, you dig? Meach makes it to General. They patches him up. They save Meach's life. This is, and I want to say we go visit. I want to say this was either the day before Christmas or 2 days before Christmas when this happened, you dig? So me, Fed, and Bum, you know what I'm talking about? We go up there to see Meach. He's handcuffed to the bed. His whole chest is cut open. They just shot my guy with the 40, you feel me? Right under a few inches away from his heart, if I'm not mistaken. So Meach was down bad, you dig? He's in there in pain, a lot of pain. He's wincing. We dumb, you know what I mean? We young, we stupid. We always got jokes. He kind of struggling to talk. We say, damn, why you talking like that? That nigga said, man, because this shit hurt. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm talking about? We all had to stop playing around at that moment and realize, like, God damn, this thing just got shot with a 40. You dig what I'm talking about? So Meach is in the hospital. Meach goes to jail. They trying to charge Meach with like attempted murder on a police officer because they're saying that Meach was reaching for his gun, trying to shoot the sergeant when Cool Cat shot him. This is their way of offsetting shit so that Cool Cat doesn't get charged with the attempted murder of my little cousin. So that's the story that they told, that my cousin was trying to reach for a weapon and was trying to shoot the sergeant when they shot him. You dig what I'm talking about? So Meach was in jail fighting that case for a long time, you dig? He was up against it, you know what I'm talking about? They had his ass in 850 for a long time. This is after he was in general for a while and he had to heal up, you dig what I'm talking about? So that was an ugly situation, you dig? And thank God Meach made it out of that, you dig? So fast forward, every summer I used to go to Texas with my family for family reunion, and some of those summers I would take some of my partners from the hood with me, you dig? So one summer I take my partner Matt the Cat with me. So me and Matt the Cat, man, you understand me? I'm pumped. I just, my big cousins, they used to take their friends to Texas for the summer. They used to have big fun, so I couldn't wait till it was my turn. I was old enough, you dig? Now we getting money, we hustling. Moms of them don't know we getting money and selling work and doing what we do. So I met the Cat. I'm like, Matt, let's do it, big baby. We going to Texas. He like, come on, man. So I books the tickets, you know what I'm saying? I go, Auntie picks me up. Matt the Cat flight came in like either a day later or 2 days later. I pick Matt the Cat up. We in Texas. We pumped. We fucking with my cousins, you understand me? Matt the Cat in the house. We drunk. Matt the Cat coming in the house, throwing up off that Remy. Big Daddy, my grandfather, like, who was that going to the bathroom all night throwing up? Yeah, y'all ain't slick. I seen y'all. Now, we still teenagers. We probably like 16, 17, maybe 18 at the time. I'm going to say 16, 17, you dig? So just imagine this 9697, we taking trips out of state, you dig? And you know your favorite family member, I'm taking work, you understand me? You dig? I'm busting moves back then, big baby. Do you hear me? But anyway, right? So while we out there, one of my big cousins is getting to the bag out there. So we going to go rock with big cousin. He got pit bulls and all the shit that we love. Not only does he have pit bulls, he got choppers, he got bankrolls, he got everything that we love. So us being young, you dig what I'm talking about? When he takes us to the house, he got 20 pit bulls on his yard. We out there loving it. He letting some of them lock up. Me and Matt the Cat looking at all the dogs. We fucking with it. This is what we love in the city, you dig? So while we there, he goes in the back. It's like, come here, little cousin, let me show y'all something. He pulls out the chopstick, right? With the 50 round clip, 100 round clips and shit. We are just like in awe. We loving it, you dig? We like, man, get the camera, man. Let me advise y'all, don't ever do this at home. None of this shit. We was young, dumb, and full of cum. You feel me? Today, I wouldn't take a picture of nothing because I ain't got nothing anyway. Do you hear me, big baby? But anyway, right? We was young, man. We just wanted to, we was with the shit. So we like, man, let us take some pictures with the chopper. You feel me? He like, oh, we like, you want to get a picture? He like, hell nah. Because we already knew better shit than that. We like, y'all want to take some pictures, huh? He throws about 60, 70 bands on the bed for us too. You feel me? So we got big pictures from vacation with K's and 60, 70 bands on the bed. You feel me? We showing out. We acting a donkey. You feel me? So fast forward, we gets back from the trip. So one night, I don't want to get too much into this part of the story because I don't want to incriminate nobody. But anyway, one of the big homies pulls up. He says he got a lick or whatever. You feel me? He goes to go pull this lick, and when he comes back, he talk about the lick went bad, and the dude he tried to hit the lick on was the police. So of course we was kind of like, sounds fishy, you know what I mean? We're not saying nothing, but anyway, you know what I mean? It just didn't sound right. So after that happened, the following night, I'm standing on Broad Street. As I hop in the car and pull off with somebody, I see Cool Cat, Tony Chapman, and a few other Krush crew coming down Plymouth Street on Broad, like from Fairlines, walking down, like looking down to the middle of the block. So not knowing that they was about to raid my partner Matt the Cat house. They run up in Matt the Cat grandmama house. Now, of course, what you think they find when they go up in there? The pictures of me and Matt the Cat with K's, with bands on the bed. So not only is it some shit going on with this lick the OG tried to pull, because I think they was watching surveillance and seen us talking to the OG before he went to bust the lick, you dig? I hope that's all it was. But anyway, so they run up in Matt the Cat house. So now Matt the Cat's like, they didn't really find nothing, but they took all our pictures and all this other shit for evidence. So now, Cool Cat and them, we already on their radar. They got pictures of me and Matt the Cat with K's and bands, you feel me? So you already know they think the worst of us, you dig? They like, oh, these young dudes are some young hot boys. They out here they got K. Where's the K from the picture? Ain't no K that was somewhere else, you big dick dummies. We was just fronting and stunting. That wasn't ours. But anyway, big baby, you hear me? So they raised the house. They takes the pictures, you feel me? So now, as a kid, I had this interaction with Valentin and running my mouth too much. Get older, Cool Cat and them runs up in my partner house, and they have pictures of us with K's and money. So I'm pretty sure Cool Cat was familiar with my face. You feel me? Probably also my name, because the Lakeview police, they was on me. I got took down so many times, caught with sacks and just hot ass shit, you dig? So fast forward. I got a stay away order was sending buy bus through Lakeview. They got like 40 of us with the same dude to get buy bus from us. So I was I got caught up on a secret indictment, you dig? I was moving around and not having no police interaction for about 5 or 6 months. So they was picking up all my homies from this secret indictment, and they was getting picked up, and we knew that people was getting picked up, but we didn't know how many of us was on the indictment. So one day, my brother Fed, his car is getting towed. So I go up to the spot, you understand me, to help him with his car because I'm the one who got a license. The lady looks across the street, she's like, "What's your name?" I was like, No. This ain't about me. This ain't my car. I'm just here because I got license. She's like, No. You step on the curb, sir. And I'm like, what? Step on the curb? So I step on the curb. She goes, pops the trunk of this black and white police car. She reaches in the police car and pulls out a printout with my face on there. She said, "Put handcuffs on him." I'm like, what is going on? What is going on here? Now, mind you, I got a fresh zip of spitters in my Drenars Pizaki. Okay, I'm hot. I'm like, what in the, you dig? She said, yeah, they got you on a secret indictment, you dig? And I'm like, indictment for what? Now, mind you, the buy bus was 6 months before. I have no idea possibly what this could be about, you dig? So when she tells me this, I'm like, oh, you got me mixed up. She pulls it up in the computer. She's like, this you, right? I'm like, yeah, that's me. She said, you better watch what you selling drugs to. I'm like, ain't this a blip? So, fast forward, they put us in the back of the paddy wagon. I see one of the homies, you understand me? He's only in there. Shout out to my homie, you know what I mean? Much love, bro, you understand me? You know I'm in your death forever. I gets the zip off me. He's only in there for traffic. Give him the zip, you dig? They never patted me down at Terryville Station. We get all the way to 850. He still got the zip. He like, you want it back? I said, man, flush that shit. I'm already in here for a secret indictment. All I need is to get caught with a, I'll be going to the penitentiary, the pen-I-N, you dig? So, but anyway, I got to stay away from Lakeview because of that case and put on intensive gang supervision probation, you dig? So I couldn't be within 100 yards of Lakeview. I think I mentioned this in one of my other podcasts. So my thing was, okay, my mama lived on Q Street. I lived back and forth from Q Street to Lakeview all my life. I'm finna take my show on the road. Do you hear me, big baby? So I goes over to the Q, you feel me? I gets the Q fired up, man. My homies loving me. We got the Q looking back like 1998, you understand me? Before everybody started beefing and got killed. The Q Street homies is loving it because we bringing traffic, you know what I mean? Plus, it's always been love between the Q and the View. So we got that thing fired back up. Now, in the midst of this, you dig, I guess somebody was spreading false rumors on me, lies, saying that I was pushing ecstasy trees or whatever on the Q. You dig? That's what they was lying on me about. So a little bit before this, I used the KIU, where I get the name KIU from that everybody be hearing all the time. That was originally it was a phrase that I made up, you dig? But it was also what we used to call my old apartment, you dig? Now, one day, my little cousin Twink hit me and was like, because I was like, what's up? He's like, I just seen the Krush crew coming out your apartment up there, up on the hill in Hunters Point. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you sure it's my house? He's like, man, I know where you live at. Come on, cousin. I'm like, for real? He like, yeah. So they had went to the landlord, got the keys to the spot, and raided the spot, you dig? Nobody was up in there, and we didn't have nothing in there at the time, you dig? So it was a vent right there by the door when you come in the apartment where allegedly we used to keep a lot of weapons and shit. So it wasn't no weapons in there, you dig? You know what I mean? We allegedly used to keep, allegedly, you hear me? So they run up in the spot, but one day I remember I came home and the vent was down. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker ain't never down. So I guess they left that vent down to let me know, man, this is not a good hiding spot if this is where you was hiding things at, you dig? So Twink put me on to them raiding the spot and shit like that, you dig? So I knew that they was on me. I knew that I was a little bit on fire, you feel me? I knew I was hot. So fast forward, one day I'm riding around with, I want to say I was with Tommy from Oakdale, or I might have been with T Learn and them. I don't know who I was with. But anyway, my homies from Q Street called me and say, hey, where you at? I said, I'm smoking, I'm rolling. They said, you better come here right now. Cool Cat and the Krush crew just went in your mom's house on Cuseta and they took her out in handcuffs. Do you hear me, big baby? So, of course, my mama, my ace, my everything, I'm like, what? So I rushed to Q Street. So they give me the skinny, they running down to me, yeah, man, Cool Cat just took your mama out in handcuffs and woo woo whoop and give me all the rundown. They had 3 little bags with them when they took her out. So I'm like, what? So I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm worried about my mother. You dig? I'm more worried about moms than I'm worried about myself. You dig? So of course I'm at Hunters Point. You know what I mean? We had to keep some protection around us. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, they runs up in the spot. They finds a 40 cal Ruger, 38 special, a couple of other pistols. You understand me? But moms had. A couple of them was registered to moms. You dig what I'm talking about? So them was her personal weapons, whatever. The other one, I don't know whose it was. Do you hear me? I don't know whose it was. But anyway, you feel me? They take moms for all the 3 weapons and they find some little personals or some trees and some little personals and shit up in there or whatever. You feel me? No pills, what they was allegedly there for. So what they did was, they rings this is Cool Cat. This is the type of individual that we was rock with. Now let me rewind right back. Back in the days, Mac Minister, the one falsely accused of killing the dude who was falsely accused of killing Mac Dre, had a DVD. On this DVD, right, Mac Minister has some high-tech G14 classified footage. The footage he had was behind the scenes of some smokers and some other people trying to snitch on him and Tang. Talking about they was creating all the chaos in Fillmore at the time and they was doing all the shootings. Now, I don't know how Chop got this footage, but it was some real high-tech footage. Do you hear me, big baby? And in this footage, it was behind the scenes of Cool Cat, Mike Bolte and them at the police station. In this footage, Ballantyne says, no, Crenshaw, Officer Crenshaw, he's part of them too. He said, yeah, you see this guy right here talking about Cool Cat, Paul Lozada. He said, yeah, if he wasn't a police officer, I'd be arresting his ass. Now, in the fucking video, Mac Minister said, ain't this he was narrating. He was like, ain't this a bitch? Why you ain't arresting him just because he's a police officer? Now, that was some epic shit right there. Now, if the sergeant of police task force said that if this dude wasn't a police officer, he'd be arresting him, somebody once told me every joke got a little bit of truth to it, you dig? And I like to think that he meant that. And when I get more of the story, you're going to know why, you feel me? But anyway, fast forward. So they rings the doorbell, ding dong, ding dong. My mom's apartment is on the 3rd floor. So she has to yell down and say, who is it? So they're like, hey man, Mr. San Francisco Police Department, your son was shot in a shootout. So mom's is like, what? My baby? Boom, she buzzes him in. So then when they come upstairs, they like, nah, he wasn't shot, but he was in a shootout over drugs, over weed and ecstasy or something like that. So then moms is like, what? So moms lets them in. They like, nah, your son wasn't in the shootout, but he's selling all the ecstasy in Hunters Point right now. Where is he? Call him. Now, my mama is a stomped down certified gangster, man. Ain't no way she wouldn't call nobody, but for sure she wasn't finna call me. Plus, you know, it was false accusations. I worked for the city and the county at the time. You dig what I'm talking about, big baby? Moms knew I was a working man, stand-up individual, L7 square man. I wasn't participating in none of that type of rhetoric. Do you hear me, big baby? So mom being a gangster, she said, he ain't got no phone. My son works for the city and county in San Francisco. What you mean call him? I ain't call who? I don't know how to call him. What is you talking about? Well, ma'am, your son is selling all the ecstasy on Hunters Point, and his friends right outside is the ones that's telling on him. Peep the play, big baby. It gets deeper than rap, you hear me? So Cool Cat and them, they search the house. They find these guns, you feel me? They like, okay, if you don't call him, you going to jail. She's like, well, take me to jail because my son don't sell drugs, and I don't know what you're talking about. They takes moms, charging her with the weapons and all this little bullshit. So mom's calls the next day. She kind of gave me the skinny on what happened, what was said, this, that, and the other. She sounded a little worried, so I'm like, Moms, I'm about to come down there and turn myself in so they can let you go. She like, nigga, shut up. You take your ass to work. You know what I'm talking about? Turn yourself in for what? You take your ass to work. You go to work. That's all you worry about. This is how much of a gangster my mama was. You hear me, big baby? This is how some of you suckers need to be when these police wrap y'all up. You feel me? Stand tall and stand firm, because most of the time, all the shit they talking, they ain't got nothing anyway. So the next day, they had to let my mama go because it was illegal search and seizure. Not only did they not have no warrant to go up in their spot, the fool cool cat told all these lies for her to let them in the first place. Do you hear me, big baby? So, boom, they let moms out. Now, the day before, I'm sitting on Q Street, right? I'm in the car with my homie Big A smoking. 4 of my other partners pulls up in front of my mama house. A couple from Lakeview, maybe a couple from Hunters Point. They had just came from the shooting range. Now, we're up the street in front of my little cousin Pack house smoking. We see Cool Cat pull up. They're looking up at mom's window. They're looking all in the front, you feel me? So they jacks my homies from the turf and pulls them out the car. One of the homies tells Cool Cat, man, we ain't doing nothing. We just came from the shooting range. Soon as he said that, they draw down on them, thinking that my homie said this because they probably got guns in the car, and this is what he's saying to let them know why they got a gun in the car or something. So they take all 4 of them instantly. They takes them, and they takes his car. My homie had like $10,000 in his pocket. He ain't my homie, you know what I mean? He's just an individual that I knew when I was in the streets. You dig what I'm talking about? But anyway, they takes them like fast, handcuff them all, take them, takes the car. One of the police jumps in the Expedition and drives it away. Brand new. It was like whatever year it was, the car was that year, you did? They drives the car away, takes them away. Me and Big A sitting there looking like, damn, did you see that? You did? Not knowing that they was on me the whole time. They was trying to see what was up. If them dudes was there to see me, if I was in that car or whatever. The next day is when they raided my house. And when Cool Cat told my mama, your friends outside is the one snitching on them. Now, I don't know if they meant my partners from the Q. I don't know if they meant my partners from the View. But this is what Cool Cat said. And the dude who was the driver of that car, his reputation is suspect, man. You feel me? He comes back like 2 days later explaining to my mama how his paperwork is good and this, that, and the other. And I'm standing right there and I'm like, why is he talking to my mama and not me? You dig? And it just, he was just suspect from the beginning. But anyway, so now I know that they own me. You feel me? They looking for me. You dig what I'm talking about? So fast forward after that, you dig? I see. Oh, when they also took some pictures and my ID when they took my mama to jail. Now, I had court at 850 Bryant about a week or 2 later. You dig what I'm talking about? So I goes up in court. I see Cool Cat at court. Now, this man got my ID. He got pictures of me and Be Legit and somebody else. And then he got them pictures from when we was young. He looked me in my eyes, walked past me, I looked at him, he didn't say shit. You know what I mean? I didn't say shit to him, of course. So I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers is on me for no reason, you dig? I ain't did nothing, you feel me? They harassing me, talking about who said this and who said that. They done lied on my mama to take her to jail. Now listen to this. When they was up in there taking my mama to jail, this sucker motherfucker, excuse my language, but I had to say this sucker Cool Cat tells my mama, what's your last name, Price? Yeah, my name is Paul Lazada. I'm the one who shot your nephew, Demetrius Price. Yeah, I shot him because he was going to shoot my sergeant. This is how he talking to my mama, you feel me? Like, what relevancy does that have? What are you trying to do? Jerk her chain, make her upset, make her scared? Why are you telling her that you shot my cousin as you raided my house and then asking her to call me? Like, she gonna call me, you dig? But this is the type of individual the Krush crew was. This is how they get down, you dig? Now, fast forward, I got probation. I'm going up at 850 Brown to see my probation officer. This is when training day was coming out. You hear me? Or just had came out. So my probation officer says, yeah, man, you know Cool Cat? You know Paul Lazada? I said, yeah, I think I heard of him. He said, yeah, man, that dude's famous. I said, what you mean? He's like, yeah, he helped with training day. He helped train Denzel for training day. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, if you look in the credits of the movie and look under Chief Police Consultant, it's going to say Paul Lazada. Now, anybody from Frisco who knows, if you remember, Paul Lazada used to always wear that trench coat. He used to always have 2 pistols and wear that beanie. Look at Denzel in that movie. with the trench coat, the leather trench coat, and the little beanie hat that he had on in the movie. Just really peep game and just really think about his whole makeup and his whole demeanor in that movie when he was playing that crooked police officer. And just look back if you ever interacted with Cool Cat, they ever ran up in your house and really think about it. Do you hear what I'm talking about, big baby? Now, fast forward, Cool Cat has shot several people in the police in San Francisco. He done shot several individuals. A dude on Hollister back in the days, another dude at Walgreens right there on 3rd Street, my little cousin, and I'm pretty sure some other people. And he has been accused of doing all type of funny ass shit, you dig? So fast forward, they have been putting him on leave of duty several times for his conduct, for how he was moving, for how he was operating, you dig? So much so that they got tired of people complaints about him and even other police officers saying he was using rogue tactics to get individuals and to arrest individuals and even in the shootings. And there was this one shooting where he shot into the windshield, the one at Walgreens, that was the one that had him under scrutiny the most, you dig? Now, if you go on Google and type in crooked San Francisco police or rogue police officer or put in Paul Lozada, you'll see all these cases against him. You'll see what I'm saying is fact. And if you go watch the movie Training Day and look at the credits, and you will see Chief Police Consultant Paul Lozada. Do you hear me, big baby? Now, after they kept on putting him on leave and they was trying to fire his ass, finally, this dude quit the police force and tried to sue SFPD, you dig? Because he got tired of them putting his ass on leave and tired of them letting him know that they was tired of his taxes and the shit that he was pulling. Do you hear me, big baby? And, you know, this just goes to show you, man, how crooked these police could be, you dig? And just some of the history on the city of San Francisco, California. Now, if you know about San Francisco and you was in them streets, you know about the Krush crew. You know about Balancing. And if you was in that city, man, you know about Cool Cat and Paul Lozada. You might got some complaints about him yourself, but very few probably knew that he was the chief consultant for Training Day. This is the You Wasn't There podcast about the Krush crew, Mike Balancing, Crenshaw, Bolte, you dig? And if you don't know about the Krush crew, if you don't know that Cool Cat trained Denzel for Training Day, you wasn't there, big baby. KIU.